Would you like my iPad?
Yes, please. Mine still isn't working, by the way, so I just like abandoned it. Yeah. Okay, thank you. All right, I'm ready when you are, ma'am. Okay. Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay.
Whenever you're
Wait a
ready.
minute, let me just, I can never do this thing right. I think it goes this way. I don't think that's right, but that'll work. Okay, we're gonna do this thing. I got it. There we go. All right, at this time I'd like to call to order the Franklin County Board of Commissioners General Session. Today is June 11, 2024. We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance led by Commissioner O'Grady.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Excuse me, sorry. Oh, my. As a reminder, this is a public meeting and is being recorded. For those of you calling in, please ensure that you've muted your line. Thank you. All right, before we start today, I'd like to highlight the newest episode of Talk of the County podcast, featuring our host here, Ken Wilson, Administrator Ken Wilson. This week's episode focuses on Mission Pausable, a Franklin County initiative between the Office of Aging and the Dog Shelter to pair older adults with pets. This program seeks to reduce feelings of isolation and loneliness among seniors by creating meaningful connections with animals and improving their emotional well-being and quality of life through companionship and unconditional love. Don't miss this heartwarming episode available on podcast platforms. For more information about the Mission Pausable program, please call 525-6200. Administrator Wilson, you want to add anything there?
Just want to say it's a exciting new initiative between the Office on Aging and our Franklin County Animal Shelter. We have Director Wingo here. If there's anyone in attendance that is interested in getting information regarding connecting a senior with a pet. It is one of a number of things that the Office on Aging is doing to help our senior residents have options to eliminate possibilities of loneliness and separation by creating opportunities to connect with others in the community and even connecting with technology. So, thank you, President Boyce.
Thank you, Administrator Wilson. And I want to just commend you for such a creative use of Talk of the County. I mean, that's we do so much as a county, and I'm always excited when the sort of things that are important to a lot of people, a lot of families, we have an opportunity to highlight them. And to some may feel like that's not important. But if you've ever had a senior in your life, if you've ever taken care of a senior, or you've been around a family that has those needs, you know that the little things matter. And sometimes that pet can be everything to the emotional stability of a family member who, in the senior portion of their life, want companionship. My mom, for example, has 2 dogs, and she got them at the animal shelter. And they drive me crazy when I go over there. I mean, they're wild. I feel like they're a pack of wild dogs, but she loves those dogs, and they're everything to her. And, you know, we had dogs growing up, but, you know, I never knew she was that much of a dog person. But it's really about the companionship and the need to take care of something and to something rely on you, you know, and those pets can be like family members and really uplift you. I remember years ago, I learned about how pets can play a really important role in domestic violence situations. And so I don't want to overlook this kind of programming and the impact that it can have on families and particular seniors. So thanks for your leadership in putting that together.
Yeah, we managed to keep 2 dogs on the set for most of our podcast, which was an amazing feat. We almost got there, and then one he just like, I got
had
to
enough.
go.
He
I
had
done
enough.
had
Yeah,
enough. I
yeah.
got to get down. I got to get on the run. But yeah, these Talk of the County is an opportunity to highlight county programs, and also importantly, highlighting the people that make a difference in our county. We had also a recent episode around Veterans Day highlighting the work of the Veterans Service Commission. And it was a very powerful discussion with the staff of the Veterans Commission and why they do the work and how much service means to them after their days are done in our armed forces. And just if folks listen to that episode, they will really understand the difference here in Franklin County with the work that Director Bramlage does. Just the conversation, President Boyce, Commissioner O'Grady, you'll get a kick out of this is how much momentum there is still around thinking aspirationally about bringing the Army-Navy game to Franklin County. It's an extremely heavy lift, but we have a conversation on this podcast around that, and it's a very emotional connection there that Director Bramlage spoke of. So there's a lot of different episodes. Most recently, one is coming soon with Linda Logan, our director of our Greater Columbus Sports Commission, and the CEO of Experience Columbus, talking about the impact of sports and talking about the impact of travel and tourism and all the exciting things happening on that front.
I was just thinking about that recently as the spring sports are winding down here. We have, state championships that are, I've been paying attention to the track and field. Softball just finished. Baseball is in its last few days. Lacrosse just finished, and so we'll have Linda Logan here very shortly, probably in the next week or two.
July 18th.
July 18th, so we'll have her in, and so.
June, excuse me.
June, I was gonna say July seems like an awful long time to make we won't get any of the kids. We'll have Linda here, but we won't have any of the kids. They'll be on vacation. But we'll have her in here, so it'll be a good opportunity to bring that up, maybe offline with her when she's here. So, but I've been talking to her about, we went in 2019, right before the pandemic, to Philadelphia for the game. It's an experience like none that I've been to. I've been to college ball games, not just many obviously Ohio State games, both home and away, but I've also been to college football games around the country a little bit when I've been able to travel. And it's the Army-Navy game is unlike any other, because while there's a big rivalry between Army and Navy, there's a camaraderie amongst the fans and amongst the players. It's a unique experience, and we had a great time when we went, and look forward to the continued conversation about trying to bring that game. For those of you that don't know, I know we've talked about it a little bit before in general session, but there's an interest in, because we're the home of the National Veterans Memorial Museum here, and we also are the home of Ohio Stadium. There's an interest in bringing the Army-Navy football game, the annual Army-Navy football game, here to Columbus at least once sometime here in the not too distant future, to host that game here in Columbus. And so it is a big lift. It would be a huge undertaking. The game has only been played outside of either New York or Philadelphia area a handful of times in the history of the game. And so it would be a huge win to be able to make that happen. But it would also be an incredibly expensive endeavor, so the community would have to step up and make a big lift to make that happen. Plus, logistically, it's also a very difficult thing to be able to move that many midshipmen and cadets to and from the East Coast from school, and then be able to do it in such a time frame that allows them to get back and forth to be able to continue their studies. Because it's, if you can imagine, it's right around finals time for them. So they'd have to get here, get back, and be able to do it in a quick enough time frame because of their studies.
Well, hopefully it comes together. Be a great way for Central Ohio to come out and
Well,
support
we're gonna
the
try.
veterans. Yeah.
We're gonna try.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, we'll keep the schedule moving here. We'll move on and open it up to domestic relations.
Resolution number 48024, resolution authorizing a second amendment to the 2024 grant agreement with the Ohio Department of Youth Services in the amount of $40,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. Barb Reeves, Deputy Director. Due to an increase in the number of youth referrals, this resolution is requesting an increase of $40,000 to the 2024 grant agreement with the Ohio Department of Youth Services for our Life Skills Program. Pending any questions, the court requests the approval of this resolution.
Commissioners, may I ask a really quick question? Joy Bibbins, Deputy County Administrator of Health and Human Services. Can you really quick, what is the scope for the youth services?
For the life skills.
Life skills, yeah.
We do employment services with them, interviewing skills with them.
And this is at DYS or this is here? in
This
juvenile court?
is here with, we have a contract with Southeast
Okay.
COVID that does all of our life skill programming.
Okay, and who's over that program?
Who's over the program with Ohio,
Life Skills?
with Life Skills
On your staff?
on our staff is Deja Owens.
Deja Owens, thank you.
Yes.
If there are no further comments or questions, I will move approval of resolution 48024.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 48024 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have a public hearing for the resolution 481-24. Can the clerk please read the public hearing?
Resolution regarding plan approval for the improvement of Cleveland Avenue from Huey Road, Township Road number 79 to Cook Road, County Road number 80, Clinton Township, Franklin County, Ohio.
At this time, I'd like to open up the public hearing for this resolution. Is there anyone here in the audience or on the online that would like to speak on the public hearing? Okay, seeing that there are none, I'd like to close the public hearing and have the clerk read the resolution into the record.
Resolution number 48124, plans approved for the improvement of Cleveland Avenue from Huey Road, Township Road number 79 to Cook Road, County Road number 80, Clinton Township, Franklin County, Ohio.
Good morning, Commissioners. Brad Foster, Franklin County Engineer. This resolution authorizes plan approval for the improvement of the Cleveland Avenue from Huey to Cook Road project. This project is funded by ODOT with safety dollars, is located in Clinton Township, and seeks to improve pedestrian improvements and access management along the corridor. Pending any questions, I ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of resolution 48124.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 48124 has been adopted.
Thank you. We have a public hearing for the resolution 482-24. Can the clerk please read the public hearing?
Resolution regarding final hearing for establishing, altering, and widening of Walnut Street, County Road number 19 at New Albany Conduit Road, State Route 605, Plain Township, Franklin County, Ohio.
At this time, I'd like to open up the public hearing for this resolution. Is there anyone here in the audience who'd like to speak, or online, who'd like to speak on this public hearing? Okay, seeing that there are none, I'd like to close the public hearing and have the clerk read the resolution into the record.
Resolution number 48224, final hearing for establishing, altering, and widening of Walnut Street, County Road number 19 at New Albany Conduit Road, State Route 605, Plain Township, Franklin County, Ohio.
Commissioners, this resolution seeks approval of the right-of-way plans for the Walnut Street and New Albany Conduit Road Improvement Project located in northeast Franklin County and Plain Township. It will improve an offset intersection with a modern roundabout. Approval of this resolution authorizes the county engineer to move forward with the land acquisition process. This project received $5 million in state-directed funding related to the Intel development. Pending any questions, I ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of resolution 48224.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 48224 has been adopted. Resolution number 48324, preliminary allocation and final encumbrance of county motor vehicle license fee $5 funds for the city of Grandview Heights in the amount of $128,317.79.
The City of Grandview Heights has submitted a request for license fee funds to pay for the improvement of First Avenue between Grandview Avenue and Virginia Avenue. The county engineer has reviewed the proposed use of these funds and has determined they meet the allowable use. Pending any questions, I ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 48324.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 48324 has been adopted. Resolution number 48424, resolution authorizing County Engineer Brad Foster to submit applications and execute project agreements on behalf of Franklin County for Ohio Public Works Commission funding of road and bridge projects.
Commissioners, our next resolution seeks authorization to submit applications and execute project agreements on behalf of the Franklin County for Ohio Public Works Commission funding. Applications will be submitted in August of 2024, and projects will be awarded later this year. While a final determination has not been made on which projects will be submitted this round, we anticipate 6 projects and 3 township projects being on the list. Commissioners, I also want to make the board aware that the 10-year state capital improvement program authorization will be coming to an end in 2025. This will make July 1st, 2025, the last granted agreements if a joint resolution is not passed by the Ohio General Assembly to place the issue on the ballot. To not cause delay in potential funding, the ballot initiative should be placed on the ballot for the 2025 primary election. The program has funded $2.3 billion in construction dollars over the last 7 years. The $2.3 billion is leveraged by locals like the Franklin County Engineers Office to help construct a total of $6.7 billion in projects Ohio-wide. This program has delivered over $64 million in infrastructure funding to Franklin County as per the last biannual report. Agencies such as the Engineers Office, municipalities, and townships receive these funds. I would appreciate the board advocating for the successful passage by Ohio voters in the 2025 Ohio primary election. Pending any questions, I ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 48424.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 48424 has been adopted. Resolution number 48524, Pannoni Associates Incorporated, consulting engineers appointed to assist the Franklin County engineer in providing bridge inspection services on various structures, Franklin County, Ohio, in the amount of $89,165.
This resolution authorizes to enter an agreement with Pannoni and Associates to perform inspections on various bridges throughout Franklin County. Pannoni was selected via the engineer qualifications-based selection process. Pending any questions, I ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 48424.
Second.
It's 48524,
I'm sorry,
Commissioner.
48524, I apologize.
Second that one too.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 48524 has been adopted. Resolution number 48624, resolution authorizing disposition of personal property, including motor vehicles and equipment which are no longer needed for public use, are obsolete, or are unfit for the use it was acquired, and authorizing the Franklin County engineer to dispose of said items by transferring title by internet auction.
This resolution seeks authorization to declare equipment obsolete and authorizes the sale or proper disposal of the identified equipment. The Franklin County engineer will observe the requirements as per the Ohio Revised Code and the Franklin County Board of Commissioners Resolution number 0276-24, dated April 2nd of 2024. Pending any questions, I ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 48624.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 48624 has been adopted. Resolution number 48724, Resolution awarding contract and approving contract bond to Newcomer Concrete Services Incorporated for Norwich Township Safety Services Building Pavement Improvement in the amount of $254,151.50.
Commissioners, our final resolution seeks to award a contract and improve the contract bond for Newcomer Concrete Services for the Norwich Township Safety Service Building Pavement Improvement located at 5181 Northwest Parkway in Hilliard, Ohio. Newcomer was selected via the competitive bid with a bid opening on May 14th, 2024. This is a township-funded project, and the engineer's office Equitable Business Enterprise Program has been implemented with an EBE goal of 8%. JLD Construction is the EBE contractor for this project. The utilization plan that was submitted by Newcomer anticipates the actual EBE percentage exceeding 25% of the contract. The project will replace and repair portions of the parking lot at the Safety Service Building for Norwich Township. Pending any questions, I ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 48724.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 48724 has been adopted.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next is the sheriff.
Resolution number 48824, resolution authorizing contracts for canned, dry, frozen, and dairy food products for the Franklin County Correctional Facilities in the amount of $1,200,000. Commissioners, if we could move forward, there's no representative present online for the
Okay.
Sheriff's Office.
All right. Somebody call Albert. We'll skip to the Office of Aging. Director is ready.
Resolution number 49024, resolution authorizing a grant award agreement with Levels Unlocked Enterprises, Ohio for program services that promote and enhance social and intergenerational connectedness in the amount of $643,442.
Good morning, Commissioners and County Administration. Shonda Wingo, Director for the Franklin County Office on Aging. Joining me today, I have Dr. Melita Moore from Levels Unlocked Enterprises. After I read the summary, I'll give her an opportunity to speak a little more about Levels Unlocked and the impact that it has on seniors. The resolution authorizing a grant agreement with Levels Unlocked Enterprises for the program services that will promote and enhance social and intergenerational connectedness in the amount of $643,442. In Franklin County, the Office on Aging desires to provide senior service levy funds to Levels Unlocked Enterprises for the purpose of providing program services that will promote and enhance the social and intergenerational connectedness among seniors. Seniors within Franklin County face a multitude of challenges when it comes to accessing the essential services and opportunities needed to support their well-being and independent living. These difficulties are often rooted in social disparities, a lack of access to quality senior care resources, and a general absence of awareness regarding the various ways in which senior population can thrive and remain self-sufficient. Many older adults and their families come from underserved communities where the journey towards a fulfilling and independent life often laden with obstacles. Levels Unlocked is dedicated to offering a wide range of invaluable programs and unwavering support to combat loneliness, promote independence, and empower aging and their families the aging's families. Services and experiences provided within Levels Unlocked are not limited to educational workshops, seminars, senior esports competitions, personal development, digital literacy, social connectedness, cybersecurity, and internet safety training, digital skills and development, and more. The Franklin County Office on Aging wishes the authorization of providing a grant award agreement with Levels Unlocked for a period of June 4th through December 31st of 2024. This resolution supports goal number 9 of the Franklin County Rise Together Blueprint. After Dr. Melita Moore is done, pending any questions, we respectfully seek approval of this resolution.
Good morning. Thank you very
Morning.
much, Dr. Wingo, Ms. Cohen's Office on Aging staff. And we are very grateful to be here. I am Dr. Melita Moore, a very proud product of Columbus City Schools, Stewart Elementary, Monroe Middle, Northland High School. I always like to shout out my schools. I'm here today with our partners, Justin Kogi, who is the CEO and founder of Game Arena, a preeminent game arena in the country, as well as Jawanza Moore, CEO of McElefant Tech and Energy. We are very grateful to have the opportunity to be here to talk about esports and gaming in Levels Unlocked Enterprises, Ohio. A little background just on me on why we're here talking about gaming. I am a quadruple board certified physician, physical medicine and rehabilitation, sports medicine, brain injury medicine, and lifestyle medicine. So sports medicine and concussion are really my main areas of expertise. I've been a team physician in the NBA, the WNBA, I consult for the NFL, and then in 2019, a team doctor for the NBA 2K, a professional video gaming team, a professional esports team. So that's how I got into esports in 2019. Since then, I have been able to become the vice president of the Global Esports Federation, where we have 170 countries and their esports federations under us. I am also leading and help to advise the World Health Organization, the International Olympic Committee, UNESCO, International Telecommunications Union, all around health and wellness for esports and gaming. That's kind of how we got here and got to this conversation about what we can do for our seniors. I see this around the world. Why are we not doing this here in Franklin County in my own backyard? We're talking about Mission Possible and this epidemic of loneliness and isolation. This is exactly what we are hoping to combat with our Levels Unlocked program. Commissioner O'Grady, I know you were talking about the Army-Navy game. You know, Justin will have the college football tournament with 25, which is the largest esports game. Title is coming back out in July 20th. But we also would like to have an Army-Navy esports tournament game through college football 25 at Game Arena. So when we're talking about esports and gaming, it encompasses everything. But I think from this epidemic of loneliness, this social connectedness, we know that the U.S. Surgeon General, around this time last year, May of 23, put forth a national framework and strategy to help combat the epidemic of loneliness and isolation in this country. From a healthcare perspective, epidemic of loneliness and isolation, it increases your risk for heart disease, for stroke, for cardiovascular disease, depression, anxiety, and dementia. Johns Hopkins did a study, a 9-year study, with 5,000 seniors over the age of 65. Those who felt that they were socially isolated had 50% increase of a dementia risk. When you also have isolation and social loneliness, you are also at an increased risk, the same mortality rate as if you smoke 15 cigarettes a day. It increases your mortality rate when you are lonely. And you could be around a lot of people. That doesn't mean loneliness. It is the quality of your connection that identifies if you are lonely or not. And so you can be around tons and tons of people, but you are not making those social connections, then you are lonely. So these healthcare risks. So in comes gaming. Gaming is all about community. Gaming is all about social connection. It is being built online and in person. Some of the things that we are doing with gaming, it increases your critical thinking, your social emotional learning, your hand-eye coordination. Certainly there's something called active esports, where we use the VR headset or the Nintendo Wii to maybe play bowling or tennis. That's physical activity, increasing mobility, coordination, which then ultimately decreases your fall risk. So when we're talking about our senior community that we know are living a lot in isolation, 1 in 3 seniors identify as being in isolation. During the pandemic, gaming increased for seniors. Right now, 42% of baby boomers identify as gamers. And so although gaming can seem fun, which it is, it's recreational, but it also has all these other health components, social, emotional, mental, physical, stress management. These are all the things that we are hoping to do and to combat with our Levels Unlocked Ohio program. So it's not just about the gaming piece. That is the carrot that brings us in to then talk about even workforce development, content creating. All of these things, our seniors should not have a barrier to this virtual world. So I think we also have an opportunity, but an obligation, that we are accepting our seniors, meeting them where they are, and giving them permission to enter this virtual world. So we are very grateful to work with Office on Aging, Franklin County, to be able to do our Levels Unlocked Level Up Land program. Thank you.
Thank you. So you mean to tell me all this time my son has been telling me that these video games are, he was telling the truth.
He's telling the truth.
You
It's
know.
so many other benefits for the youth, but yes, he's
All
telling the
those
truth.
years, I limited his time, his access to video games, and I might have stunted his growth somehow.
It's not too late.
No, in all seriousness, I'm really grateful that you're here.
Thank you.
Because I think this is one of those subject matter areas that we need to talk more about and engage a little more in. We live in a era of technology. You know, when I was a kid, when John and I were kids, and video games sort of first came out, you know, on Atari and some of these other early versions of games, who knew that it would evolve into the technology that it is today? It's amazing, you know, and to think of a more serious implication on the cognitive capacity of humans, particularly our seniors, is something that we ought to talk a little more about and maybe as a county dig a little more into. And, you know, my mom, you know, she plays like card games on TV, on the computer, and she does other little games. And I always enjoy seeing her. She gets so excited about it. I always enjoy seeing her play the game. But to think about that it could be enhancing her life in a way that is positive and strengthening her memory muscles or her brain function and muscles. I just never processed it that way, and so I'm grateful for your comments. I'm grateful for your for this relationship, and Director, this is something I like to see us dig more into, but more importantly, share the research with the public, because in today's world, it's easy to access games and different things like that. So it's not something that we have to provide as a county, but I think sharing the research and the information and the partners that we have, I think it could be something that's very valuable, and I want to dig into. We've got the Senior Day coming up at the Clipper Stadium, and I'm taking a whole busload of my relatives and my mom's neighbors and all that. They're going with me. It's going to be fun.
I told him to make sure you practice throwing the first pitch.
I
Don't
did.
worry,
I
my
practiced this
daughter won't be there
You
this
know what?
time.
I ought to get Aaron to come in and give me a couple lessons. But this time we'll make it to the. You didn't see my video I posted where I actually made it to the. So anyway, yeah, she was there. So you underestimate that mound and how far that is. You know, let me just say that. But and then quite frankly, I'm aging myself and I'm not the athlete I used to be. But anyway, we're having a Senior Day, and we should really maximize information. It's a day outing. My mom's really excited. You know, she calls me probably every day about this date that is 3 weeks away or whatever. Are we still going? Are you coming? What time are you gonna be there? What I gotta wear? You know, but I love that. And the point I'm making is that we should really take that down. I know you do. I know you have resources and things there. But maybe I think we're using the suite today. Maybe we'll have some games set up that we can, let them kind of mess around with and kind of encourage them. Or if you want to join us, I want to encourage you to come out and join us. And maybe
Our team
there's some
will
interaction.
certainly be there.
Yeah, and we can maybe set up some things to kind of just really start to dig into it a little bit and see the reaction and get them and maybe help them understand. Because I'm going to share this with my mom. I'm going to have her watch today and be like, did you know?
If she's in the Office on Aging, we'll be happy to take care of our 80,000 clients that we have in the county.
I don't. She probably signed up somewhere in there, but
We'll get her signed up.
So I'm really excited about this, and very very seriously, this is different. This is. We fund a lot of everyday kind of things that this is different. This is new, and we should think NACO on this, and we should. Okay, yeah, you're always on that kind of stuff, but and so this is different. This is I want to put an asterisk by this, and so anyways, Commissioner O'Grady, and I know you want to make some comments, but let me turn to
Well, I just
Commissioner
want, as the soon-to-be senior, or I just turned 60, so.
O'Grady. Soon to be. You're already there, sir.
Commissioner Boyce asked if I played video games, and I told him I didn't. My kids, decided early on that they didn't want to play video games with Dad because the games that we played together when they were younger, that I could beat them at, they immediately eliminated. You know, they said, "Oh, we're not playing those games anymore because Dad could beat us." And so, so I, you know, it was immediately was like,
They're not playing video checkers.
they don't want to play. They don't want to play video golf. They don't want to play video bowling. They don't want to play, you know, any of those type of games because I could beat them at all those games. And we played Mario Karts, and so I could beat them at Mario Karts. And then eventually they started beating me at Mario Karts, or at least it got competitive. And so they said, "Well, we don't want to play this anymore." We advanced on to other things, and so they started playing all these other games that I couldn't beat them at. And they, oh well. Then, you know, we
Games
moved. They
take
moved
time.
on.
You gotta like.
Yeah, you got to.
put some
They
work
play.
in, you know.
Yeah, and I didn't have time to play all those
yeah,
games, and so anyway. But you know, my daughter is now looking at school. She's my youngest is now looking at colleges, and we're noticing that every, you know, and she wants to play ball in school, so we go to after we go and do a campus tour, we go see the athletics facilities. Well, along with the athletic facilities, all these schools now have an esports complex. And it's not just, you know, a little room off in the corner of a they have an esports complex with like a building, an entire, you know, facility for esports and at all these schools. And it's a whole new world these days. And so it only makes sense that our seniors would be benefiting from this as well. And so, you know, the extent of my, you know, e-gaming is, you know, I play a little, you know, euchre on the plane when I'm done reading everything, and I still have, you know, half an hour left on a flight or something like that. I just don't, you know, I don't.
But it's good though. It's
I
good,
understand,
you know?
so I guess I'm gonna have to step up my gaming now. But I can't. My kids play. You know, my son puts the whole headset on, and he's got it looks like the Matrix in my basement because he's built his own computers and he's done his, and it was all based on, you know, we've funded it all, but it's all based on, you know, he's like, "Oh, Dad, I'm a mechanical engineering student, so I need the $2,300 laptop, and I need all these pieces." I mean, so he's literally built his own PCs, and a couple of times. A couple of weeks ago, he came upstairs and he said, he brought his own entire PC upstairs and he set it all up on the kitchen table. I'm like, "What are you doing?" And he went to, was it Microsoft or Micro Center, and bought all the parts and took the thing apart on the kitchen table and rebuilt it and took it back downstairs. And he did it all in like an hour and a half. I was like, so anyway, the point being, you know, it just goes to the point of it's today's world, and whatever it takes to, you know, to continue to challenge our seniors and to have our seniors be active, and I'm just going to have to get into this world myself, I guess.
Well, we welcome you to our Level Up Land program. Probably most of those esports complexes that you saw on those college campuses were built by Justin and his team. They build around the country, most of the collegiate esports arenas. And your son building his gaming PC, that is one of the programs that we offer for some of the other county and state agencies that we're working with here in Ohio, is building a gaming PC.
And finally, Dr. Moore, my wife, some people think she looks like my daughter. My wife is also a Northland Valkyrie.
Go Vikings.
Valkyrie Knight and Northland Viking.
Vikings.
Also a Valkyrie. So, go Vikings.
Go Vikings, thank you.
I think your wife's a Northland Vikings, is she? Yeah, I thought she's a Northland Vikings. So, yeah, right. But your wife is.
Yes.
Yeah. Commissioners, if I could just really quick, Joy Bivens, Deputy County Administrator for Health and Human Services. I want to make mention for those who are watching online. Why are we talking about this? You need to put yourself in a position of being homebound. You can, when you're gaming, you can communicate with someone in the same city, another state, in a whole nother country. So that provides the social connectedness, which is really, what we're really, really excited about. Before I talk about Dr. Moore really quick, I see Jawanza Moore here. Jawanza is one of our community gyms, has always been. He takes care of all the kids in the community, from the kids who need gym shoes to the kids he sees kind of slipping. He steps in, and he feels like every community's kid is his kid. So thank you, Jawanza, for the work that you're doing in our community. I will tell you about Dr. Moore. When we first talked about this, I think she was in Japan or somewhere. Not only does she have all those accolades, but she is the first African-American female physician for the NBA.
Yes.
For the NBA. And most importantly, right,
Thank you.
she humbly plays that down. But most importantly, She just happens to be a Delta.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
So,
Laura.
but I will say this, every time we've called Dr. Moore, and we started talking about this, I think a year or so ago, she flew here so she can meet with us and our team. And we were like, we want to do this, and we want to do this, and we want to do this. And what I said to Dr. Moore then, and I will continue to say now, I said, I just don't want to do it, but I want to lead. And I want Franklin County to be a model with aging, with our DODD folks, in our juvenile detention center. There's an opportunity I think that we have that is cutting edge, to Commissioner Boyce's point. But I want to thank you so much because you're always accessible. If I call and ask a question, it could be 2 o'clock in the morning, you're in a whole nother country. You will take the time to answer the question so that our residents can get what they need.
That's right.
So thank you so much for all that you do, and I appreciate you.
Thank you very much. This is my home. It's our priority. So if I'm not here, someone from our team is always here. But it's Franklin County. So thank you.
Well, thank you so much, and thanks for your work, and look forward to working with you. Hopefully, we'll see you at the game in a couple weeks. All right, thanks,
All right.
Terry.
If there are no further comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 49024.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 49024 has been adopted.
Okay.
Thank you.
I think we're gonna go, thank you, Director. I think we're gonna go back to the sheriff.
That's right. Thank you, Commissioner. Resolution number 48824, resolution authorizing contracts for canned, dry, frozen, and dairy food products for the Franklin County Correctional Facilities in the amount of $1,200,000. Mr. Masterson, whenever you're ready.
All right, we're gonna just keep
Yep,
moving. We'll
okay.
see when it gets back. Keep going to the child support enforcement.
Resolution number 49124, resolution authorizing a contract agreement with Get Creative LLC for media consultant services in the amount of $38,369.50.
Good morning, Commissioners. Susan Brown, representing Child Support. Excuse me. This resolution requests your consideration in approving a consulting contract with Get Creative for media consulting services for the period of May 27th through July 1st, 2024, in the total amount not to exceed $38,369.50. And actually, the Get Creative team is in the audience here today. The child support program provides services to families. Today, our definition of family is broad and covers many family types. We serve single-parent families, families headed by two unmarried parents, or partners either of the opposite sex or the same sex, adoptive families, foster families, and families where children are raised by their grandparents, friends, or other relatives. Each of these families have their strengths and their challenges, but generally speaking, children benefit when there is a mature, nurturing, caring adult engaged in their lives. The purpose of this specific contract is to promote fatherhood awareness and is entitled Dad, Did You Know?, which is a campaign to create 10 to 15 video segments of county leaders, residents, and elected officials talking about the important role that fathers play in their lives or what it means to them to be a father. The campaign will educate, engage, and empower the community with information on the impact and importance of fathers being involved in the lives of their children. The campaign is in commemoration of June being Fatherhood Awareness Month, Responsible Fatherhood Month, Father's Day on June 16th, and for use during Franklin County Fatherhood Summit. In addition to video segments, social media content will also be created for the county and agency's Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter platforms. The Get Creative contract can be connected to the Rise Together Blueprint Goal number 12 and number 13. Pending any questions, I request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 49124.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 49124 has been adopted.
All right.
Thank you.
We're gonna go back to the sheriff again. I think we've got the issue worked out.
Thank you, Commissioner. Resolution number 48824, resolution authorizing contracts for canned, dry, frozen, and dairy food products for the Franklin County Correctional Facilities in the amount of $1,200,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. Dave Masterson, Chief Financial and Human Resources Officer for Sheriff Baldwin. The contract before you is our 6-month canned, dry, and frozen dairy food products for the menu for the correctional facilities. It will run through December 6th of 2024. Pending any questions, we ask approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 48824.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 48824 has been adopted. Resolution number 48924, resolution authorizing a contract with Staccato 2011 LLC for the supply and delivery of firearms and accessories in the amount of $96,845.60.
Commissioners, this resolution approves a purchase of firearms, particularly handguns for our Special Investigations Unit. The purchase will be made out of asset forfeiture funds, which are seized funds throughout it that are obtained through investigations. These particular handguns are the same platform that our SWAT team utilizes, and the SWAT team and our Special Investigation work hand in hand on many occasions and believe that this is the best move in terms of operations and efficiency. And pending any questions, we ask for approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 48924.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 48924 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Great, thank you. Next, the Franklin County Data Center.
Resolution number 49224, resolution authorizing an agreement with CDW Government LLC for the procurement of Cohesity backup and recovery software in the amount of $1,132,536.56.
Good morning, Commissioners and County Administration. Julie Lust with the Data Center, and with me today is Data Center CIO Adam Frumpkin. This resolution is for a new data backup and recovery system. This provides us with not only a second copy of data, but also the ability to restore a file from a specific point in time. These services are vital for public records requests, disaster recovery, business continuity, and corruption or ransomware attacks. As the county's reliance on technology to deliver services to the people and businesses of Franklin County grows, so does the data center's need to ensure that we're using modern and secure solutions to deliver the technology infrastructure our partner agencies, courts, and boards need to function. Cohesity is an American-held technology company that specializes in data security and management. This product, called Data Protect, safeguards data against cyber threats and offers the most comprehensive policy-based protection for cloud, software as a service, and traditional on-premise sources. It protects virtual and physical workloads, databases, and applications, allowing recovery of mission-critical applications from any point in time, just seconds before the disaster hit. The Automatic Data Processing Board has approved this technology, and pending any questions, the Data Center respectfully requests your approval of this resolution.
There are no comments or questions. I'll move approval of Resolution 49224.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 49224 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you. Committee partnership.
Resolution number 49324, resolution authorizing a one-year agreement with Future Ready 5 in support of early childhood education in the amount of $450,000.
Good morning, Commissioners and County Administration. Brittany Hilliard, Community Partnership Coordinator. The first resolution will authorize a one-year grant agreement with Future Ready 5 in the amount of $450,000. Under the terms of this agreement, Future Ready 5 will collaborate with providers and other organizations on initiating the administration of early learning assessments. They will also pilot shared data and referral systems and fill every classroom space with children and healthy qualified staff. If there are no questions or comments, we respectfully request the approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 49324.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 49324 has been adopted. Resolution number 49424, resolution authorizing a grant agreement extension with the Central Ohio Workers Center in the amount of $300,000.
Our next resolution will be working with Central Ohio Workers Center. Under the terms of this agreement, they are working on protecting working people in Franklin County from wage theft, seeking to diversify and expand its outreach efforts through increased coordination with trusted community partners in Franklin County communities where low-income and immigrant workers live and work. This is the third year of a 5-year grant agreement. If there are no questions or comments, we respectfully request the approval of this resolution.
You just answered my question, so thanks.
Perfect.
If there are no further comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 49424.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Resolution number 494-24 has been adopted. Resolution number 495-24, resolution authorizing a COVID-19 recovery grant with Vista Village to support their newly created transitional living program for those experiencing homelessness in the amount of $500,000.
This next resolution is with Vista Village. They are developing an innovative transitional living program, the first of its kind in Ohio, utilizing tiny homes in a gated and secured setting. Vista Village will provide men and women experiencing homelessness with access to on-site wraparound services to move them from a state of homelessness and instability to a place of healing, economic security, and permanence. If there are no comments or questions, we respectfully request the approval of this resolution.
Yeah, I'll make a few comments. I just wanted to say, again, in the name of sort of thinking differently about how we approach and address challenges that our community faces, this is one of those ideas that is an emerging approach to housing nationally. But more importantly, it allows us to couple a good use of space with resources that give people time to transition into a self-sustaining lifestyle. And it's being made, the use of land is being, I think, productively applied here in a way that is coupled with services and resources that will allow people to go through what a lot of people do, transitional time in their lives, but more importantly, to be in a position of self-sustaining. And the tiny home concept is not something necessarily new, but it is new in urban areas like Central Ohio for us to apply that to address homelessness. And so I had a chance to visit the site a couple of months ago, and I like the concept. And I want you to watch very closely, because if this works well, we want to replicate this in other parts of town. And so this one here is off of Refugee Road, I believe, right? Yeah,
Correct.
Refugee Road. And it's not too far from First Church of God, so it's like this thing, First Church of God, and then just maybe down the street a little bit. And it's tucked off in the back, but the land was just land, and so they're putting the homes up, and they're small, 1-bedroom. It's like more like a studio, house, basically bathroom, kitchen, and bed in it. And but more importantly, and I really want JFS to connect with these folks, just because we want to maximize the use and access of services to get people. It's one thing to provide temporary housing; it's another thing to put them in a position to be self-sustaining on their own, and that's the idea here. And a lot of times, we have trouble building affordable housing units for folks who are needing shelter in kind of that transitional time. Those are tougher to build sometimes. So I like this creative space. I like this creative idea. And so I'm going to be watching closely, and I hope that have you been out to this site yet?
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, well, my
Ask, is it
office
an
can work-
opportunity for the not just JFS, for the HHS team, because we're trying to work with developers and to create wraparound communities?
Yeah, let's get you
Okay.
connected with. I know my staff is watching this online.
I can
Let's get
connect you as
connected
well.
with. Let's do a site visit. Let's take all hands on deck.
Okay.
Do a site visit. Meet with their leadership.
Yeah.
And let's see if we can collaborate
Yeah.
and take a deeper dive on this. Deputy Administrator, I think you'll be impressed
Okay.
with the concept and approach. I know that Commissioner Crawley, she actually was the first person to sort of engage with them.
Okay.
And I don't want to speak for her, but I believe she's very supportive
Okay.
of this. And so I was the follow-up on it when I saw it. I said, we've got to move forward. And so, but let's put together a team. Chelsea, I know you're watching this. Let's put together a team ASAP to
Okay.
get folks out there. DCA, if you could coordinate who
Absolutely.
needs to come from the county, and maybe we will collectively go out and really sort of apply eyes. And it should be almost done. It should be. They should be getting close to opening their doors.
Yeah.
And I know they're running a little short on funds, but
Okay.
we're gonna get this project. And I think it could be another model that we can share nationally that others can replicate. I chaired the Affordable Housing Task Force, And these kinds of models were embedded in the recommendations
Yeah.
for addressing affordable housing, homelessness, so forth and so on. So we'll coordinate with you and get folks out there and, go from there. Great work. Thank you for the follow-up.
There are no further comments or questions. I'll move approval of Resolution 495-24.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 495-24 has been adopted.
Can we take like a 3-minute break for just 3 minutes? Take a break. All right. Thank you.
Sure.
Hold up,
We'll
everybody.
take a 3-minute break for 6 minutes. I just like how he asked that.
What a morning. The room got muted.
It's rough out there. Like I'm serious. I drink like a ton because I get dehydrated very easily, and so I have to really, really hydrate myself, or I'll get really sick from dehydration. And then
Okay, you're getting old, Commissioner.
that too. I mean, no question. I can't hold it like I used to, but but if you ever
Are we having this
if you're
conversation?
speaking and I give you this look, that's what it is, man. Like, listen.
You
You
just
gotta
start
wrap
tapping.
that up,
You just
like,
start
come on,
dancing and- you just start dancing and tapping your foot.
basically, I'm over here like, man. Okay, all right,
This
that's
is a great
enough of that.
conversation to have.
All right,
During-
yeah. All right, so,
Unmuted, Commissioner.
I know, I want the world to know.
Okay.
I want the world to
All right.
embrace aging as I'm doing, and, all right, let's get this party going. Economic development planning.
Resolution number 496-24. Resolution authorizing an affordable housing development agreement with National Church Residences to receive funding through the Coronavirus Local Fiscal Recovery Fund for the support of a magnet fund project in the amount of $1,320,000.
Good morning, Commissioners, Administration. My name is Emmanuel Torres. I'm Assistant Director of Economic Development and Planning. And this resolution is for an affordable housing development agreement with NCR, National Church Residences, from the 2021 application round of the Magnet Fund program. NCR intends to develop 88 units of affordable senior housing. The project's called Berwyn East Place, located at 3341 East Livingston Place, near the Bishop Harley High School. 22 of these units will be affordable at 30% AMI. 33 will be at 50%, and another 33 units will be affordable at 70% AMI. Joining us today, representing NCR, we have Sarah Jane Steffes. She's a senior project leader, and pending any questions, I respectfully request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 49624.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 49624 has been adopted. Resolution number 49724. Resolution authorizing the Franklin County Board of Commissioners to approve the attached subordination agreement to allow National Church Residences and Westerville Senior Housing Limited Partnership to refinance their mortgage at 630 South Sunbury Road, Westerville, Ohio, 43081.
Commissioners, Westerville Senior Housing Limited Partnership received a housing loan grant for the property known as Ravine at Central College on September 9th, 2004, in the amount of $500,000 from the County Board of Commissioners. This resolution will authorize the county administrator to execute the subordination agreement prepared by the Franklin County Prosecutor's Office on behalf of the County Board of Commissioners. Staff has confirmed that property taxes are up to date. And pending any questions, I respectfully request your approval of this resolution.
Commissioners, may I ask a really quick question? Joy Bivens, Deputy County Administrator of Health and Human Services. I see we do a lot of agreements with National Church residents. Is there opportunity for us to have a conversation with their leadership in our Office on Aging, just because of the population I think that they service, we service, and I don't think there's ever a collective conversation on how we can create, a pipeline for our folks?
The answer is yes, most definitely.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. I think she left. Thank you. No, I was talking about our Director on Office on Aging. Thank you.
If there are no further comments, if there are no further comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 49724.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 49724 has been adopted.
Thank you very much.
Jobs and Family Services.
Resolution number 49824. Resolution approving a COVID-19 recovery grant with Research Institute and Nationwide Children's Hospital doing business as Abigail Wexner Research Institute for the Franklin County Ready to Earn Youth Employment Program in the amount of $200,000, 45 cents.
Good morning, Commissioners. Carmen Barnes, Assistant Director, Job and Family Services. So, Commissioners, you've already made a significant investment of nearly $5 million this year in summer and year-round ready-to-earn program opportunities with other community partners. Through this resolution, Job and Family Services will partner with the Research Institute at Nationwide Children's Hospital to provide another ready-to-earn program for the youth employment for youth ages 16 through 21. This will bring the total number of youth and summer work experiences through Ready to Earn to just over 1,200 this summer. Healthcare career pathway opportunities are limited due to a lack of exposure and a lack of education. And this is particularly the case for underrepresented populations. Youth who participate will have the opportunity to develop vital skills that are needed for success in the workplace. They will also receive 8 weeks of in-depth exposure and hands-on experience in healthcare career pathways while earning up to $15 per hour. Youth who successfully complete the program will be considered for full and part-time positions with Nationwide Children's Hospital. This resolution supports goal number 11 of the Rise Together Blueprint. And pending any questions, I ask for your approval of this resolution.
Which one?
This one.
Kenneth Wilson, County Administrator, President Boyce, Commissioner O'Grady. I would move that we table resolution 498-24 until the June 28th meeting. 18th, June 28th. June 18th. I added 10 days to that June 18th meeting.
Okay. If I will move to table Resolution 49824 until June 18th.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 49824 has been tabled until June 18th, 2024. Resolution number 49924, resolution approving a COVID-19 recovery grant subaward agreement with Goodwill Industries of Central Ohio Incorporated for the Roads to Work Workforce Training Program in the amount of $1,777,743.06.
Roads to Work Workforce Training Program provides commercial driver's license training and employment opportunities for unemployed and underemployed Franklin County residents. With this award, Goodwill Industries will continue to partner with Capital Transportation Academy to offer the Roads to Work program. Goodwill will serve as the workforce readiness partner for Roads to Work, and Capital Transportation will serve as the CDL training provider. Participants in Roads to Work will receive soft skills training, comprehensive case management services, holistic supportive services, and 6 weeks of CDL training, followed by employment placement and retention services. Successful graduates of the program will earn a State of Ohio Commercial Driver Training Program certificate and their CDL. Goodwill and Capital Transportation will leverage their employer relationships to connect graduating students with employers that best fit their career interests and plans. During the prior program period, 85 participants obtained their CDL licensure, with those placed with employers earning an average starting wage of $59,000 plus benefits. During this award period, Goodwill and Capital Transportation seek to enroll 150 low-income Franklin County residents in the Roads to Work program and anticipate that 80% of the graduates will obtain employment within 90 days of receiving their CDL licensure. Richard Crockett, President and CEO of Capital Transportation, is with us today if you have any questions. And pending any questions, I ask for your approval of this resolution.
Yeah, I'm going to ask Richard to come up. Would you like to say a few words? Welcome to the board.
Yes.
Good to see you.
President Boyce, Commissioner Grady, Administrator Wilson, Deputy Administrator Bivens. I'm Richard Crockett, President and CEO of Capital Transportation and the founder of Roads to Work. And Roads to Work is a workforce development training program where we target underserved individuals and individuals that are returning from incarceration to be able to take advantage of the window of opportunities that exists in the commercial driver training industry right now. There's a tremendous shortage of CDL drivers in the industry. And as a owner of Capital Transportation Academy, we see so many companies coming to our school to recruit our drivers. And so one of the things that we recognized a number of years ago was there is a tremendous opportunity for individuals who are non-traditional individuals who would typically seek CDL training or become a commercial driver. And so we identified underserved communities like women, minorities, individuals returning from incarceration, particularly underserved individuals, underserved communities. Because this window of opportunity creates an opportunity for individuals who are underserved to go from underserved to the middle class with a livable wage, with benefits, with national companies that you guys see on the road, Snyder, Swift, J.B. Hunt. All of those national companies are in tremendous need of drivers. And so I think typically when people think of CDL driving, they think about time away from their families, on the road, over-the-road drivers. But there's a tremendous opportunity for individuals to be in local jobs. I know many of us have gone through drive-thrus at night, or Wendy's or McDonald's, and you see the big tractor trailer in the drive-through lane, and now you got to go inside. Those individuals, that's a local job for individuals who want to be home with their families, coaching their kids and being home at 5 o'clock. There are regional jobs like Target or Dollar General or Kroger's, those kind of jobs, our beverage companies, all of those are CDL jobs, trash collection and school bus driving. All of those are local jobs where people can be home and earn livable wages with benefits. And so Roads to Work seeks to identify those underserved individuals and help those individuals go from underserved to the middle class in about a 6-week training program. We've done a great job partnering with Goodwill Industries, who's been a tremendous partner, helping us get those individuals ready in terms of soft skills training, financial literacy, because these individuals are going to go from many who are on some form of public assistance or in a low-wage job to a middle-class job, a middle-class wage, where these individuals are making $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year, and that's a transformational situation. So before Commissioner Boyce gives me one of those looks, I want to tell you guys that this has been a tremendous program that has benefited almost 500 individuals over the last 4 or 5 years that the Commission has been supporting this program. And we appreciate the support, and we have a tremendous pipeline of individuals who are seeking to get their CDLs. And so we continue to interview those individuals and try and select those individuals. Many are TANF eligible individuals that go through the program and seek their CDL and get a livable wage job, and avoiding the benefits cliff, for example, in terms of being able to support their family on a livable wage. So we're glad to be partners with the Commissioner, Goodwill, and Capital Transportation Academy. So if there's any questions, I'd certainly be willing to answer those questions.
I just have a couple of questions, just really quick. Since this has been a re-up, do we have a status report of all the good work they've done because we talk about 500 individuals. And Mr. Crockett, thank you for your work.
Yes.
And then the other question that I have is, so for all of us to have, and the other question that I have is, I would like to work more closely with partners like this, because as you have folks who are coming through your doors, we can't track them. I don't know if they're a Job and Family Service resident or a Office on Aging, because we're not having that aligned conversation. For us as a county, that really helps us substantiate and validate these dollars that are changing people's lives, so we can have that conversation and figure out how we can start tracking those folks. That would be very beneficial to us as a county.
Yes.
And it aligns in the Poverty Blueprint Plan.
One of the things I would like to mention, because FMCSA, which is the Federal Motor Carrier Administration, has in the last year or two has implemented entry-level driver training, which has tremendously altered the landscape of being able to qualify for a CDL based on safety reasons. And so since we started the program, it's changed tremendously in terms of the rules that FMCSA and the Ohio Department of Public Safety have implemented to get a CDL, typically because of a lot of the catastrophic incidences that have happened and accidents that have happened across the country. And there's been a effort afoot to standardize the training nationally, because historically, each state had their own set of rules for getting CDLs. And because of safety reasons, the Federal Motor Carrier Administration recently implemented entry-level driver training. And so those training rules have certainly impacted one's ability to successfully complete the program. So we continue to try and identify those individuals and eliminate barriers that might preclude them from being able to complete the program successfully. However, it has become more difficult. And one of the things that we're doing is to try to make sure that those individuals who are going through the program are ones we can select that would be successful by eliminating those barriers with Goodwill Industry, to try and make sure that our numbers that you're talking about, in tracking those numbers and making sure that the individuals are successful. But that has had an adverse impact on the number of people who certainly are going through the program and being successful. But typically, those individuals who do receive their CDLs typically will gain employment between around 60 days after completion of the program. That's providing they want to go to work, because there is a job for them, because we actually have our transportation partners, trucking companies from all over Ohio, many are national companies, that come into our training and actually bring lunch to the students and give their recruitment spills. So many of our student candidates are in fact employed before they actually leave the school, subject to getting their CDL. So that's something that we offer to the students because, again, many of these are low income or underserved individuals. So the price of admission to coming to present is you have to bring our students lunch. So that's typically what we require of our partners.
I think Administrator Wilson might have some comments with it.
Yeah, President Boyce, Commissioner O'Grady, Mr. Crockett, having data and alignment is something that's important with the COVID-19 dollars. And I'm just sitting here discussing the fact that with our workforce development programs, Building Futures, Driving Futures, now Broadband Futures, and Roads to Work. Now that we have several hundreds of people that have gone through, I would like for you to work with us. We're asking the same thing of our Building Futures and Driving Futures as we look at refinements in following people and being able to provide continuing wraparound support services. So we want to be partners in looking at the 400 people, soon to be 550, because we only think about success.
Sure.
And being able to particularly show the residents to be able to make the case as the COVID-19 spin down period ends. Fast forward to the end of the COVID spin down period. We want to be able to track the people and show that the investment counted and that they are now in a sustained position, that they kept the job, and that we can continue to provide whatever support services through our health and human services agencies and the ecosystem at large, you know, the county ecosystem of our nonprofit partners and kind of working together collectively. So if you could assign someone to think about this, and I don't expect us to have the answer now, but assign someone that will be like that liaison to our health and human services agencies, and we look at each and every one of those individuals and try to connect with them so that we follow them, you know, 5, 6, 7 years down the road, and be able to show how they advanced. And then also we can have them to be ambassadors and support the whole ecosystem of us bringing new people in. Because I think we built a lot of successful programs over the last 3 years that if we refine them, improve our data collection and our support services, we can build something that will continue to be sustained long term.
Absolutely, and I certainly will follow that directive and identify that individual. I think Deputy Administrator Bivens and I and yourself had a conversation, and we're going to definitely refine what that looks like in terms of that individual's interaction with Franklin County Job and Family Services as well as the county commissioners as well.
Thank you.
President Boyce.
Please, Commissioner Grady.
Mr. Crockett, I just want to, appreciate the hard work. This is not easy work because these are not, even if you think about it, these are not jobs that everybody wants to do. Not everybody wants to get a CDL. Not everybody wants to be a driver or a long-haul driver. Not everybody wants to do this work. You know, these are not your typical day in and day out jobs. So, you know, appreciate the work that you're doing, and appreciate the training that you're doing, and appreciate the fact that, you know, you guys have been at this for a while now. You've been partnering with us for a while now. You know, this is a specialized type of training that you're doing, a specialized industry that you're working in. you know, if you think about who the folks are that are drivers, I mean, we've had stories in the newspaper. We've talked with folks over and over again. I've talked with a lot of people that do this work. This isn't a lifestyle for everybody, and so we really appreciate the time and the effort that you're putting in here, and the folks that you're working with and the folks that you're training. This is a big need in our community. There's a lot of companies out there that need these drivers, which is why as soon as these folks are trained, they by and large they all have jobs right away because there's a big need in this industry. And so we really appreciate the work that you're doing and the partnership that we have with you. It's important, as Administrator Wilson talks about, that we continue to monitor and track this data so that we're able to show proof. But we do appreciate the partnership, so thank you.
Thank you as well. I think one of the things is, in listening to your comments, these are not non-traditional individuals that are entering a field that typically this population has not been engaged or involved in. And so it's an educational process that we have to do in selecting the individuals that are coming through in terms of the type of lifestyle that they have. Do they have younger children? Or age of the individual, the physical health of the individuals. Because we have, a couple of different types of transportation. As we said, local, regional, national. They have a thing called touch or no touch. That is when touch is basically you have to handle the merchandise. You have to remove it from the truck. Or no touch is you back the trailer up to the dock and somebody empties it with a tow motor or whatever, or a forklift. And so we have to kind of go through and interview those individuals and making sure that a career as a CDL driver is what they aspire to. And so I was just talking to Carmen about the fact that we have a program. Recently, the Federal Motor Carrier Administration and the state of Ohio has allowed 18 to 24-year-olds to get their CDL and drive interstate. But there is some components to that where individuals have to actually work with in kind of a internship type environment with the trucking company to receive the appropriate training before those individuals are allowed to drive interstate. And so that's a program that's, or a law that's recently been passed. And we have a program to introduce young people to the CDL world or to the industry that I'm going to be talking to Job and Family Services about, introducing younger people to the industry, because typically it's been 25 or older before someone will hire you because of the maturity of that individual. And this program will allow students to get, or younger people to get training before they're released. And there's some requirements of the trucking company that hires them in order to do that. And so this program that I'm going to talk to Job and Family Services about is a week-long program that introduces high school students and older, 18 and older, to the transportation industry so that they have an idea about what they're embarking upon if they're interested in a career in transportation. It talks about what it's like to be on the road, time away from your family, all of those kinds of things, wages and benefits and the types of jobs that are available. So we're going to be talking about how we introduce this curriculum to young people to learn more about the CDL industry. So that's something that we've got on the horizon that we can do based on recent laws and changes that allow young people. And what this will do is it'll allow, by the time someone's 25, they've started embarking upon a trade or an education. So we miss a lot of those individuals that could potentially come into the industry much earlier. And so this is something that we want to do to help to bring more drivers into the industry. And I would like to say, too, I've got two nephews who are graduates of West Point, and they played in the Army-Navy game. So I would love, instead of going to Philadelphia, to drive a few miles to Ohio Stadium and see that game, by the way.
Well, again, I think that's been said about the roads to work. I'm grateful for the work. I do think there's value in providing our community with options for training, options for workforce development, so forth and so on. So I'm glad to continue the relationship.
One last comment, Commissioner Boyce, and that is we have an outstanding partner with Goodwill Industries, Goodwill Columbus. They've done a remarkable job in their soft skills training in working with individuals to overcome barriers that might preclude them from being successful. So I'd just like to commend Goodwill Columbus for the great job that they do in the part of that they play in the Road to Work program.
Great, thank you. Commissioner Grady.
If there are no further comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 499-24.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 499-24 has been adopted.
Great, thank you. Justice Policy and Programs.
Resolution number 500-24. Resolution authorizing a second renewal and modification contract with Virtual Case Manager for web-based case management software licensure in the amount of $2,533.34.
Good morning, Commissioners and County Administration. Courtney Moats, Grants Administrator with the Office of Justice Policy and Programs. Our first resolution requests your approval of a renewal and modification contract with Virtual Case Manager for digital case management software licensure to support the storage and maintenance of data required to be collected under our various justice grants programs. Under this modified agreement, which was based on a 7-site license package, OJPP will purchase an additional site to support digital case management of our jail population review program. These unique program-specific sites will allow our office to continue conducting real-time service reports of the frequency and volume of residents receiving services through our office. Pending any questions, we respectfully request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 524.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 524 has been adopted. Resolution number 501-24. Resolution authorizing a sub-grant award to the Franklin County Municipal Court for the continued implementation of the Medication-Assisted Treatment, Assessments, Referrals, Collaboration, and HOPE program under the FY 2023 Justice Assistance Grant in the amount of $26,000.
Our second resolution requests your approval of a sub-grant award with Franklin County Municipal Court for support of improving the capacity of their March program. More specifically, funding will allow the municipal court to contract with Alvis for the provision of dedicated staff responsible for completing assessments and providing direct referrals to critical services, including treatment and housing. It's anticipated through this agreement that 400 assessments will be completed by staff, which will allow for a more streamlined referral process for individuals seeking services through March. Pending any questions, we seek your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 501-24.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 501-24 has been adopted. Resolution number 502-24. Resolution authorizing a professional service contract agreement with Kathleen Geyer for the purposes of providing data collection, analysis, and research services under the Targeted Community Alternatives to Prison Grant Program in the amount of $15,000.
Commissioners, our final resolution requests your approval of a professional service contract agreement with Ms. Kathleen Geyer for data collection, analysis, and research services. Ms. Geyer will assist our agency with compiling and analyzing justice-related performance indicator and data necessary for monitoring grant performance, including recidivism and other program-related outcomes. Ms. Geyer brings a wealth of experience to her role with a data analyst contractor, including her full-time role with Alvis, wherein which she serves as a data analyst and contract research coordinator. Pending any questions, we seek your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 502-24.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Resolution number 502-24 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Human Resources.
Resolution number 503-24. Resolution authorizing an amendment to and renewal of the agreement for consulting services with Clemens Nelson and Associates Incorporated in the amount of $88,000.
Good morning, Commissioners and County Administration. Sue Hamilton from the Department of Human Resources. Today for your consideration is a resolution seeking approval of a contract amendment and renewal with Clemens Nelson and Associates in an amount not to exceed $88,000. Clemens Nelson provides consultant services related to a variety of human resources and labor relations matters. This request seeks to increase the overall not-to-exceed amount of the contract to provide additional human resources and labor relations consulting services on an as-needed basis. These additional services will be documented and agreed to upon via separate work orders that will detail preliminary work plans and also include the anticipated deliveries. Clemens Nelson has experience successfully providing these services to us and has provided quality service through this and prior agreements. The renewal is for the term September 30th, 2024 through August 31st, 2026. Pending any questions you may have, we respectfully request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 50324.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce? Yes. Resolution number 50324 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Resolution number 50424. Resolutions approving purchases for various Franklin County agencies in the amount of $2,598,536.65.
Good morning, Commissioners. Megan Perry Valinier, Director of Purchasing, and I'm joined this morning by D'Amica Withers, Chief Economic Equity and Inclusion Officer for the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. This resolution requests your approval of 88 purchase orders for which the County Auditor has pre-certified available funding, and D'Amica has the SCBE data for you this morning.
Thanks, Megan. Commissioners and County Administration, 18 of the purchase orders being presented today are being awarded to small and emerging businesses totaling $835,809.59. These awards are distributed as follows: 2% to small and emerging businesses, 5% to minority-owned businesses, and 14% to women-owned businesses. 9 agencies will provide equitable and inclusive opportunities to small businesses this week, which includes the Clerk of Courts, Court of Common Pleas, the Data Center, Domestic Relations and Juvenile Court, Franklin County Board of Developmental Disabilities, Job and Family Services, Public Defender, Public Facilities Management, and the Sheriff's Department. Pending any questions, we respectfully request your approval on this resolution.
If there are no further comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 50424.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce? Resolution number 50424 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're multitasking up here. Resident journalization.
There are, we have 2. Case number ANX-11-24, an expedited Type 2 annexation petition, ANX-11-24, was filed with the Franklin County Economic Development Planning Department on June 4th, 2024. The petition is requesting to annex 132.471 acres from Brown Township to the City of Columbus. The petition will be considered by the Board of Commissioners on July 9th, 2024. The sites are Hayden Run Road, PID number 120-000189. You are really challenging me, Commissioner. Thank you. Hayden Run Road, PID number 120-000214. And 7642 Hayden Run Road, PID number 120-000232. And finally, the document that has been presented to each of you today has been provided to your offices via email and is being journalized as required under Resolution Number 68323, the no-cost amendment resolution. The clerk's office has been tracking each contract signed under this authority, and a list will be captured in the minutes today. Thank you.
All right, that concludes our regular meeting. Thank you so much. You guys have a great week.
Should have given the child a toy.
I mean-
Hey, man, what she said to me, I was like doing, she's like,